2 more days to purchase the spring mega bundle. If you have not already purchased it, I did a video on my channel last week showing my contribution to the bundle. It is a full mini unit based off of the books How Full Is Your Bucket, both the picture book and the Young Readers Edition. It is created for ages 3 through 14. And so if you missed that, you can definitely go check that video out. I will also put the link to purchase the mega bundle down in the description box below. It is a beautifully curated collection of spring printables for a variety of ages, a variety of topics and skills, and it is just incredible. So be sure to check that out if you have not already. Hey you guys, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a spring book haul for a variety of ages of children, fiction and nonfiction, all different kinds of spring books. If you're new here, I'm Christina, and I'm a mom of 5 kids ages 2 to 14 years old. So I cover a wide span of ages when it comes to books and homeschool curriculum and motherhood and all of the things. It has been a while since I have shared a book haul with you guys. So I'm really excited to talk with you guys about books today. Some of these books are from the library, so it's mostly a library haul, and then some are books that I've purchased, and then there are just a few favorites in here that are not new to us, but I just had to share them if I was going to do a spring book haul. So I'm going to try to sort of start out with the ones for the younger ones first and then go from there, but we'll see how this goes. I haven't really organized them out very well. So the first one that I want to share, I shared probably last spring. I got it last spring, and I've since gotten some of the other books in this series, and this one is Little Raindrop. And these are like a cushioned board book. I love this series because it is really cute and it is a good story, but it actually has scientific information. So it's really a science primer for younger kids, and even kids up to 6, 7, maybe even 8 years old will learn information in here. It goes through all about how rain is formed in the clouds, how it evaporates back up into the atmosphere, how it waters the flowers. It's just a really incredible series. They have little acorn, they have little snowflake. I just love this series so much. That's Little Raindrop. In no particular order, this one I feel like many people know, but I have to share it just in case you don't. This is another one that is part of a series, and this is Goodbye Winter, Hello Spring. There is one for every season. This one I do own, and I did get it in the hardcover. I've been trying to get hardcover more often lately, just because I feel like my toddlers are a little bit rough on the paperbacks. So although they tend to be cheaper most of the time, I'm trying to do that. So this really goes through the changing of the seasons. It's really beautifully written. I just love the imagery and figurative language in these. So I feel like they're a rich text even for older kids. I think I talked about this in the fall or the winter about how I feel like there's much to be gained from some of these high quality picture books, even for older kids. So I love this series, Goodbye Winter, Hello Spring. Another one from a favorite series that I feel like is pretty popular, but again, I have to share in case you don't know about it. And this is the Over and Under series. And so we love Over and Under the Pond. This is another one that we first took out last spring, and we have taken it out again. I feel like I probably need to purchase this, but I'm trying not to purchase all of the books all of the time. Absolutely beautiful. There are so many of these. We did Over and Under the Snow in the winter time. I have another one in this series that I'll show you in just a minute, but they are beautiful. I love the mix between a narrative storytelling, which also includes nonfiction facts. It's just such an engaging way to deliver information. I just love it. Absolutely beautiful illustrations. I feel like all age kids love these. And in the back for the older kids, I love how it goes into in-depth information about the different creatures that were featured in the story. So absolutely love this series, Over and Under the Pond. While we're at it, I'll show you Up in the Garden and Down in the Dirt. This is another one that we did last year when we were doing a gardening unit with Campfire Curriculums, and we did like our first raised bed and all of that. So we were studying gardening a lot last year, and I absolutely love this one as well. It shows creatures above the dirt and below the dirt and at nighttime and during the day and all of those things. And I just love this series as well. It's up in the garden and down in the dirt. Okay, another one from a series is the Fletcher series. So this is Fletcher and the Springtime Blossoms. We own a couple of the Fletcher books. There was one in the winter and then one in the fall. It's just a really cute story about him kind of experiencing the changing of the seasons and kind of just adjusting and being curious and sometimes even just a little bit worried about the changes and then being so happy with the end result. And so as you can see, the springtime blossoms have bloomed on the trees at the end and he's just kind of relaxing. So love the Fletcher series, another one to definitely check out if you're not familiar. Okay, I think that might be it. Nope, that's not it for series. It's Spring is another one from a 4-part seasonal series. This is another one that really just highlights the changes in the seasons. And I like how this one kind of has a different style of illustration. It's not necessarily my favorite style, but I like to expose them to different styles of illustrating. This almost has like a collage style to it, which is kind of cool because this current week in Exploring Nature with Children, it's Snail Week, and there is a book that focuses on the snail, which is a piece of art by Henry Matisse, and we read it last year, and it talks about how he was like in a wheelchair and he could no longer paint, but he started getting into like cutting up paper and having college students putting together his masterpieces for him and just kind of directing him, and then they do a project like that. So this is kind of going to be a fun one to tie in with that art project as well. And that's It's Spring by Linda Glasser. Since we're talking about seasons, this is a really cool one. This is pond seasons, and this kind of goes through the pond in different seasons. And I just love it because it gets them. This is one that you could use any season or all seasons. And what I really like about this is we do Exploring Nature with Children, and there is always a spring pond week, a fall pond week, a winter pond week, a summer pond week. And so we have a pond nearby to our home, and we love to kind of notice the differences as we follow along in that curriculum. And I will link Exploring Nature with Children down below if you want to check it out. But pond seasons is a really fun way to kind of track those differences and changes in the pond from season to season. Okay, what do I want to do next? I have a handful of books left. These are kind of left over from Spring Pond Week as well. Everything you need to know about frogs and other slippery creatures. My kids love this one. My 14-year-old sat here reading this book for quite a while. There is tons of really interesting information in here. He absolutely loved it. So I would highly recommend this. This is strictly nonfiction. It is not a story. This is from DK Books, and it is everything you need to know about frogs and other slippery creatures. So definitely check that one out. While we're talking about ponds and rivers, this is another one that they actually really liked, and this is Eyewitness Books. And this had a lot of different plants and insects and all different things that you would find underwater, floating flowers, frogs, toads, rushes and reeds, fish, all different kinds. So the pond in winter. So this touches on season as well. So this is another great one. Discover in close up the ecology of the plants and animals that make freshwater habitats their home. So that is Eyewitness Books, Pond and River. This one I really love. This one we own, and we got this a couple of years ago. This is The Biggest Puddle in the World. And this is a really sweet story about two siblings that go visit their grandparents for the weekend, and they're stuck in the house during the rain. And when they can finally get out, they want to find out from their grandfather, where is the biggest puddle in the world? So they kind of follow the water and end up at the ocean. Again, it's a story, but it gives them an opportunity to kind of like learn about different bodies of water. This one we got last year. This is Plant Hunters, the story of two women botanists. This one I feel like can be used even up to high school. This is from The Good and the Beautiful. I really like the way that they tell stories. I love the in-depth information and illustrations. I feel like this is one that all different age kids can get into. And I just feel like this is really great if you're trying to study botany, if you're studying plant life, if you're trying to do some little bit of biography. Really great book from The Good and the Beautiful. That's Plant Hunters. Next one, again, I feel like is pretty popular. We checked this out last year, and I don't know why I haven't purchased it yet because I absolutely love it. This is We Are the Gardeners. And if you've seen, I think it's Big Little Farm, there's a documentary we watched last year. I think it's called Big Little Farm. And we absolutely loved it. Everyone in my family loved it. And this is kind of like a mini version of that documentary in a way. It's about this family trying to figure out just all the ins and outs of how to have a natural garden, about the different pests that pop up, and how really you just kind of have to go with nature instead of going against it. So really, really love this one as well. We Are the Gardeners. This one is really, really fun. This is 999 Frogs Wake Up. And this is all about the creatures that wake when spring has sprung. So it's a really fun, funny story, but it also talks about all these specific animals that are waking up to springtime. So that's 999 Frogs. This is a really, really fun one. This is one that, again, I feel like is great for a variety of ages, and I'm going to show you why. First of all, it's super interesting, lots of nonfiction information, but it also has a narrative feel to it. And I want to show you this in case you haven't seen it. It's pretty cool. So Toad or Frog, Swamper Bog, a big book of nature's confusables. Really interesting even for me. Like, I even love this book. And so it starts off looking like a regular story, right? What is the difference between a frog and a toad? Is that a moose or a caribou crossing the road? And then on the very next page, it breaks down the differences between the creatures that were mentioned. And then the very next page will be two more. Is that a dolphin or a porpoise making the playful diving leap? Is that an octopus or a squid swimming down in the deep? And then the very next page breaks them all down. So I love this alternation of storybook form and illustrations to like your almost standard nonfiction setup. I just love this. It's super interesting to kind of learn the differences for these different creatures that you may not, or parts of ecology that you may not realize the differences to, or that your kids may not realize the differences to. So this is a really fun one. Okay, next book is another one in a series of books by Julia Rothman, and this one is Nature Anatomy. We also have Farm Anatomy, and there are a bunch of other ones that we don't own that we've taken out from the library at different times. But this one I have taken out from the library so many times. I'm like, you just need to purchase this book. It is absolutely stunning. We just started notebooking as a practice in our homeschool. And this is something that I've been really intrigued by in the past and just hadn't really gotten around to trying, because I feel like it is something you need to develop as a practice. And so we've started recently, just over the last couple of weeks, and we are loving it. And I feel like there is so much potential in it. So I did a poll over on Instagram if you guys would be interested in hearing more about notebooking, me kind of showing you how we're doing it. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely drop that down in the comments below. But this was one of the books that I felt like is going to be super helpful for notebooking and learning how to notebook. It's another one that is just absolutely gorgeous. I am a very visual person, so I just really appreciate beautifully illustrated books. However, there is also so much wonderful information in here. Like, it just covers such a wide variety of topics. None of them go super deep, but it's really a great way for them to just kind of find what they're interested in and just enjoy it. And if it's something they want to learn more about, then they can do research. We can take out more books that go more in depth on the topic. But I just love every single book in this series. Such a stunning series. Absolutely love. Next one is one that I mentioned last week or the week before. This I got to go along with our Exploring Nature with Children. Yes, it was in my spring curriculum video that I did. And I had shared with you guys that I ordered it, but I hadn't gotten it yet. Here it is. It is gigantic. It is not colorful. It looks very scientific, but it is very conversational in the way that the information is delivered. So it doesn't read like a textbook. It doesn't read like a science book. Like, I'll just read this random thing about the water snake, okay? Every boy who goes fishing knows the snake found commonly among about mill dams and wharves or on rocks and bushes near the water. The teacher will have accomplished a great work if these boys are made to realize that this snake is more interesting as a creature for study than as an object to pelt with stones. It's very conversational. This is the book by Anna Botsford Comstock. It's a handbook of nature study. There are pages referenced for every single weekly topic in Exploring Nature with Children, which is a year-long nature study curriculum. It's completely optional. You don't have to get it, but because I decided that my high schooler would be continuing on with Exploring Nature with Children as part of his science for his 9th grade coursework, I wanted him to be able to dig deeper in each of those topics. So I pretty much have him do those readings independently as a way to deepen his learning. And so that I wanted to share with you guys because I did get that in the mail. Last book is quite possibly my favorite. It is absolutely beautiful. Another one that I don't know why I haven't purchased because I took this out last year and I think renewed it as many times as I could and then had to give it back. This book, you guys, if you have not seen it, it is just, it's stunning. It's breathtaking. It's one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful books I've ever seen. It is The Lost Words by Robert McFarlane and Jackie Morris. If you don't know Jackie Morris, you'll have to look her up on Instagram. She is an incredible artist. Like, I don't even know if this will do it justice, but it's stunning. I shared this in a poetry tea time, like how we do poetry tea time video, like a year ago. I'll try to find it and link it. It's way back, like when I first started my YouTube channel. But I did share this, and if you're interested in how we do poetry tea time, I will try to find that video for you. But the concept is that there are words in the natural world that as we have entered further and further into a digital age that have kind of like been lost in our everyday language, and especially in the language and the vocabulary of children. So the idea is to like reclaim those words and make sure that they're not lost. So it's just such a cool concept. It's so beautifully done. Every single page is absolutely stunning. It is written in poetic form. It's just beautiful. So you'll see the letters among nature. And then the first one is acorn. And every single one is an acrostic poem. It is just so well done. So this is another one if you're trying to teach your kids acrostic poetry. Like, it's just stunning. So acorn. Then there will be just a beautifully illustrated full page spread. Here's another one. And then you have adder. I remember teaching Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, to 10th graders, and I don't think ever, I'm pretty sure there was never a 10th grader who knew what the adder was when it was referenced in Julius Caesar. So there is some truth to some of these for sure. So beautifully, beautifully done. Like, I want to show you the whole book, but I will not show you the whole book. But I mean, my goodness, look at this snowy owl. Like, unbelievable. Try to show you like a couple more. There's a kingfisher in here that my 10-year-old painted that is absolutely stunning. There's a starling. Like, look at this raven. Again, I don't know if it's going to do it justice on camera, but so beautiful. I'll try to find you like one more. Oh yeah, these are beautiful. There's a magpie. It's just stunning, you guys. A lark. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So, The Lost Words, highly recommend for a variety of reasons. Poetry tea time, if you're studying nature, like, you don't even need a reason for this book. Okay, another book I want to show you for older kids is Free Water. This book, the cover alone is what got me. I went on my library's website to order a curbside pickup, to order all the books that I wanted to get, and this one was being featured on the site, and the cover of it caught my eye. I mean, this cover is absolutely stunning. The name of it as well, Free Water, just really got me. This is a brand new book that just came out February 2022. I am so excited to either read this with my kids or let my boys read it. They're 10 and 14. I have a really hard time letting them read independently books that I really want to read with them. It's just like a really funny problem to have because I don't want to be left out, and I just love books. I love read alouds. I love sharing stories, but this one is about siblings who have escaped slavery, and it says, under the cover of night, 12-year-old Homer flees Sutherland Plantation with his younger sister, unwillingly leaving their mother behind. Through tangled vines, hidden doorways, and over a sky bridge, the two find a secret community called Freewater, deep in the swamp. In this society created by formerly enslaved people and some freeborn children, Homer finds new friends, almost forgetting where he came from. But when he learns of a threat that could destroy Freewater, he crafts a plan to return to Sutherland Plantation, free his mother from enslavement, and help his new home. Deeply inspiring and loosely based on the history of maroon communities in the South, this is a striking tale of survival, adventure, friendship, and courage. So I looked up on Common Sense Media because I was not familiar with this book. It is recommended for ages 9 and up, so definitely feel like my 10 and 14-year-old boys would be the right ages for this. It looks incredible as far as I can tell. I will update you guys if and when we read this. This is just going to go out for now on our Montessori bookshelves in our playroom, where I highlight the current books that we have for whatever we're studying, whatever the theme is or the season or the topic in Exploring Nature with Children, or any unit studies that we're doing. I have them out, and then extras actually go in this fireplace storage behind me. So they have access to more books than what I put out, but those are kind of the ones that we're highlighting for whatever we're studying. So this one is going to go out, and I'm interested to see if they pick it up. Sometimes they wait and see if they say something, and then if they don't, I'll draw their attention to it. I could show you more books that we have in our collection, but I'm going to end there for today. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you like them. If you have a book that you're like, this spring book totally should be on the list, please drop it down in the comments below for me, but then for anybody else who might be trying to search the comments for more books to check out for springtime. It is finally starting to feel like spring in New York, so I'm super excited about that. If you are new here, I would also love if you'd introduce yourself down in the comments below. I truly love to connect with you guys in the comments and over on Instagram. So if you're not already following me there, you can follow me there at rooted_homelife. If you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It does help my little channel here on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. And until next time, stay rooted.